Where's this mic? I know. There we go. What's up, y'all? Um, welcome. Oops, whatever. It's cold, so I'm putting on a jacket. I know the color scheme, but I'm not here for color schemes. Welcome, Dr. J family. I don't know what to call y'all. Dotties. It's good, Dottie. Anyway, getting ready to shoot first episode of the podcast. Now, this is crooked. I wasn't gonna let that beat me. All right, let me see. Oh, this is nice. So, like, this is something that I had a little bit of a vision for, and I don't mean like a deep spiritual. Woke up in the night and, you know, I saw this thing. Although that happens, but not this one. This was more kind of snuck up on me to actually do a podcast. Oh, what's up? And so yeah, we're gonna record it. I'm gonna put the video on YouTube, and I'm gonna put the audio uh on Spotify so far. I'm just getting set up. Hope y'all are doing great. This is a beautiful spot, I have to say. Beautiful. Trying to find my script because people said I should write a script. You know, I love tangents. Okay, maybe you don't know, but I do. And that's what matters. I know that I love tangents. So I can make this one long tangent, or I could keep it clean. So we're gonna do a mixture of both. I hope you all are doing okay. It has been a couple of rough days for me. Um, I don't like to talk about too much of what I'm going through sometimes, although authenticity is a must and it's a need and it's a discipline. It's something that needs work. Um, but I'm really choosing to not let what I go through have the final say over what I'm existing as and doing. And a lot of that has to do, well, all of it has to do with God, but the dimensions that God shows up in and provides. I don't really know how to combine free, I don't want to say free will, but free will and sovereignty. What are you doing, laptop? My laptop just threatened to delete everything. Gosh, that was rude. All right. But just know I'm giving credit to God and to the people that show up, and I'm trying to balance that in what I'm saying. Anyway, hopefully I'm in a better space, wanting to be in a better space, um, willing to put in the work to be in a better space. There we go. All right. Now, and that may resonate with y'all. This could be a whole separate, this could be a whole separate video jump, but this is the behind the scenes. This is what y'all get for being the YouTube family. So I appreciate y'all. Um, I need to do audio recording. Oh, thank you, God. It's crazy because, Paul was really saying something when he said, "In him do we move, live, and have our being." Because maybe that's the combination of the two. We move, live, and be in him, and we move, live, and be as us as well in him. I don't know. I'm trying to figure all this stuff out for serious. So let me put this here. This is you guys. This is the Spotify jump. So y'all gonna be hearing a little mix of it. Now this isn't the final setup, but I have plans. You, Dr. Umar. I have plans for how I get it looking, but this is nice. I like it. So we're gonna get right into it. And of course I'll be editing, but ain't no thing but to do it. Ew, you could tell my parents grew up in the 70s. Anyway, oh, I should probably test this first. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, that's definitely not coming through the mic. Audio quality compressed. Clear deleted after. Don't do that. Clear deleted after 30 days. Okay. Yeah, see, this is why we run tests. You are not gonna be messing up my little spot. My little spot. Come back this way. Audio. I'm looking for audio input. Looking for sound. There's the sound. Stop. Stop. Hold on. Hold on. Cause we don't litter. Not this being somebody's prayer request. Not this being somebody's prayer request that almost blew away to the world. Anyway, input. Input. All right. Testing one, two. Cool. Oh, that might have been loud for y'all. Sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not sorry. Anyway, okay, so this was a tester. We're done with that. Boom. Done. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to the editing, right? I'm restarting that. Oh man, did I think about what I wanted to say? Not at all. How do I want to introduce? Gosh, this is crazy. Okay. Replace. Okay. Hey, welcome to the space. Welcome to the space for this podcast. What is the name of my podcast? The space for it? Are you in your head? Yes. Are you thinking too much? Yes. Maybe you should have put this part in the script. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, there's people over there. Oh, there's children though. That's probably worse. No. Anyway. Hey, welcome to the Space for It podcast. This is your host, Jaden Taylor, aka Dr. J, and welcome to episode 1. I really appreciate all of you early what do I want to say? Like the early people that came, the first listeners, the people who found this. I don't know if I've been promoting it well, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get into our first episode. First of all, how y'all doing today? I hope y'all are having a great day. I hope that the sun is shining, and even if it isn't, that you still are. And today, we're going to be talking about a topic that has been just shifting the way that my 20s went. Went? Should I say went? I'm only, what? I'm not out of my 20s, but I'm getting ready to be out of my 20s. This is a conversation that centers around agency and resignation. These two words literally transformed the way that I think, the decisions that I've made, the way that I view myself, others, and has been integral to the person that I've become. Now, as y'all know, and maybe y'all don't, I love a good tangent. I'm going to try to stick to the topic at hand, but if I go on a tangent, don't mind me. That's what you're here for. So, first of all, let's talk about these words. What is resignation and what is agency? The way that I'm going to define it today is as follows: resignation is the giving up of oneself, not sacrificially, but in a way of like quitting or surrendering to circumstance. I'm going to say that better because the second time is going to be cleaner. Resignation is a giving up of self as a response to discouraging circumstances. Agency. Now, agency is, well, think of an agent. What does an agent do? It acts on behalf of something. So when we have agency, we have the ability to act on behalf of ourselves, on behalf of others, on behalf of our beliefs. We become active participants in our lives. not only observers, not only background characters, but well, background characters in other people's stories, but a truly embodied version of yourself. Cool? Agency, resignation. Now, I want to say that most of my life I lived resigned. Growing up, had a hard time with the family. You're told who you have to be and how you have to be as a young person, and a lot of that is good. Shout out to parents who are still parenting, healthy parents, and those who are still trying, because kids need to be parented. 100%. We need a guiding paradigm for our worldview. We need to know the lay of the land, and we need to begin to learn how to see ourselves, because a child left to their own devices, their imagination will upend their world. But on the inverse, we don't want to crush a child's imagination. That's how future generations get better. Anyway, like I said, tangents are quick, but they're welcome. So, had a tumultuous time as a child, and I really began to allow circumstance to dictate who I was and how I would be. I remember distinctly a summer when I think this really took root. This was a summer that I fully embraced my addiction to video games. Bless my heart. What a time. And I would sit there in front of the screen, and I literally clocked it one day. And I would sit there for 13 hours straight, playing a video game, getting lost in the world of, you know, another narrative. It was a good game to be sitting there for 13 hours a day, clocking it like a job. But what was deeply disturbing is I was neglecting myself in the midst of that. I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't drink. I would sit there until I got dizzy and lightheaded. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I should take care of myself now. Yeah, that's a problem. I wish I knew it was a problem then, but I was young. Whatever. But in reflecting with my 28-year-old brain, am I 28? When did that happen? Almost 28. Um, I would ask myself, have I lost the will to live? And that's a question I want to extend to you all. Have you lost the will to live? And I don't mean suicide watch. Should I censor that? I don't mean the desire to extinguish one's life. I mean the intricacies. All of me wants to edit that out. Let's see. How do we say that word? Intricate? It's intricate. Intricacies. Intricacies of life? I think I did it. I don't know. Uh, yeah, all of the intricacies of life, all of the dynamic highs and lows, showing up, being unashamed of who you are and how you are when it's, rooted in truth. Um, but choosing to be a living being, not just a being, but a living being. And I think for many of us, we have. I know for many of us, having worked with teenagers and worked with adults and observing the way that the American system, I live in America, so I can only speak from American experience. But, well, I mean, kind of. But yeah, the American system pushes towards us embracing a resigned life for the individual, except for the select few, or I don't even want to say the blessed few because I don't think it's a blessing, but definitely those who have gotten ahead. Um, and I had the imagery like this. I said, life is like school. Well, we grew up in school, and in the framework of school being the first 20 years of our life, for some, shout out to y'all doctors, sheesh. uh, but in that framework, when we exit undergrad, life no longer is like school. There's not so much of a set structure, especially for those in the arts. Shout out to the sciences, bless y'all. um, but in the arts, where we have to bring who we are to center stage as a way of supporting ourselves. It's no longer the fact that there's a teacher standing in the middle of the room telling you what is right and what is wrong, teaching you fact from fiction. It's you have now, you have, you now have to, there we go. You now have to, you now have to learn how to genuinely and honorably like express yourself, showing honor to yourself, your creator, the people around you, you know, but really learning how to finish the project to fit within this narrative of school. And I wrote also in this that, we're taught and we're educated to be employees, to be good at a specific job category, and to allow that to encompass most of our life for the general middle class, lower class person, um, speaking economically, where we spend 40 plus hours a week, those of us who are blessed with employment, at a job with this specialized task. And for some, that is a joy, and for others, it's not, you know, not to disregard anyone who enjoys that. But I am looking and I am observing and I'm saying, but is that where your heart comes alive? I see you're making money. I'm not saying don't make money. But what I am saying is money at the cost of your soul is, well, that's bankruptcy. And it's common. It's common. But it doesn't make it right. But it's still common. Um, and it was also funny. I said, there's no teachers in this school of life. There's plenty of teachers if you learn how to learn, but there's no one teacher um, who you raise your hand to who's constantly dedicated to your success. Shout out to y'all with mentors. Not talking about y'all, but in my experience, especially in the entrepreneurial world, you know, if you don't have a mentor, it can feel like, especially when you just start, and I am speaking from when I just started from an undergrad, it can feel like there's no teachers anymore. You raise your hand and you leave it in the air, and no one comes to bring you the answer. You have to learn how to get the answers. You have to learn how to search and seek. And God, in His mercy, He is a teacher, but that's a little different from what I'm speaking on. But He is a teacher, He does guide. I'm not going to disregard that, but the sensation, the experience of being taught from the American academic system versus lived experience along with God and others, it feels like there's no teacher and your hand is up. And those who learned how to goof off in class and still pass, who learned how to network in the time between the teacher's attention through goofing off, through learning charisma, learning all of these social skills that, in my opinion, are more valuable than the intellectual skills often. Just the way that the working world works. Yeah, they're the ones that are getting ahead, and it's a good thing. I celebrate y'all. I celebrate myself, but it can be difficult for somebody just starting off in this path of life, and that's okay. Difficulty is not a bad thing, but we want to make sure our difficulties are just. Anyway, you can hear the tangents. You can hear the tangents screaming at me to just go somewhere else. But we're coming back around to resignation. And I found in my experience that when I graduated college, what caused me and shocked me into a deeper space of resignation was it was money, to be honest. I'm somewhat of a dreamer, I'm somewhat of a visionary, and I remember having big plans. I mean, big plans for what I would do, people I would impact. And I remember when that fell apart. Um, I had graduated and I did a post grad program, and they were like, yo, we're going to help you get jobs. And it wasn't a good fit for me, you know. That happens. Not every program is built for you, but I remember the pandemic happened. It started, and at that time I was living off of like 600 biweekly, and I was like, "Yo, it costs too much. It costs too much to dream." Like, that's not a statement. That's a feeling. That was a feeling. But I was like, it costs too much to dream, and I really let go of a lot of things. Oh my gosh, I really let go of a lot of things, and that you know, oh, this is making an impact. That was a cause for my resignation. Let me hold on. Hey, what's up, YouTube? The wind just blew and it just like blasted a whole bunch in my speaker. So we may be taking this inside, although this is cute. I love this, but if y'all can't hear on the podcast, dog, it is drowning me out. You know, it wasn't windy till I started. Cap. Uh huh. Sure. Okay. Okay. We're still good. Is this? Isn't it great that I've become comfortable hearing my own voice? Talk about growth. All right, so that's cool. We're not ruined here. Bro, where's the rest of the screen? It was just that one part that the wind just said, "Sha la la la." Started, and at that time I was living off of like 600 biweekly. 600 biweekly is crazy. It costs too much. It costs too much to dream. Like, oh, I can still hear it. Was it just this one part? Yeah. You know what? The wind's not even a problem. We're good, buddy. We're good. Okay. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So we're good. We're good. Um, but yeah, that was the cause of my resignation. And for you, it may be something different. Maybe it was an injury. Maybe it was a broken relationship. Maybe it was your own self thought, depression, mental health. Tons of things in life can cause us to say, hey, you know what? I don't think it's worth it anymore. Hey, you know what? I thought I was good for this. I'm not. Can cause us to say, I'm all right. I no longer have the will to show up. And that's fair. Discouragement is a valid feeling, but it's not what we're designed to live in, you know? So, feel that. Breathe it in, breathe it out, and live again, right? So, how do we begin to live again, there's a there's a question and there's an exercise that I want to start with you all just to get thinking on it, and for me too, because I'm coming out of a space of being very discouraged. um, and I want to ask the question, who are you in your story and in your narrative? Like, take a moment. You're a person, you're a human, and a human has limitations, yes, but a human has plenty that it can do, plenty that it's capable of. Like, we're made in the image of God, you know? Remind yourself of that. When all of creation looks at you, they see a reflection of God. You don't see it, but in a world where mirrors are rare, and I don't mean man-made mirrors, I mean in God's green earth, out there where everything was made by him, mirrors are rare. We need other people to remind us of who we are. That's part of us being communal social beings. Trusted people, may I add. Trusted people, because some people will remind you of a lie or something that isn't true about you. So, trusted people to remind us who we are. You are you, and you will never be anybody else. But you don't always have to be who you once were. And I know that was a little deep. That may have sounded like jargon, but I mean it. You are you. When you look to the left and the right, you look for yourself and others. You may see hints and reflections, but the whole picture of you can only be found in you, right? So be yourself, yes. But understand that part of you being yourself means that yesterday's you is not today's you. At one point, we were all babies. And this leads to the second part of people, humans are capable of many things. At one point, you were a baby. What could you do for yourself? Tell me, list it out. You could poop on yourself, you could pee on yourself, you could cry. I want to say congratulations, you've made it a long way. You've learned how to hold your head up. You've learned how to speak, to chew. At one point, you couldn't chew. And yes, you may be saying, oh, that's that's dumb or whatever, or belittling it. But that's because we have a habit of invalidating our own progress. That isn't good enough for what we're talking about. No, no, no. We're building your resume right now to remind you that at one time, what was impossible for you to do is now possible. At one time, walking was impossible for you. You were not matured enough or developed enough. You hadn't experienced enough. Those tummy times when mama or daddy or caretaker put you on the ground and let you struggle with your big head, it shaped you. It grew you and it gave you the potential. It tapped into the potential for you to be able to walk and to live. You know, now you're older. You can drive a car, some of y'all. You know how to sprint, run, jump, sing, dance. You can breathe deeply, okay? Because we're really making sure everybody's included here. You can take a breath. You can move your eyes. You can move your hands at will. You can think and think deeply. You can imagine. You can do so very much, and it validates that you can still do more than you think you can. Because at one point, you couldn't think at all. Big old baby without a thought behind their eyes. Look how far you've come. Look how far God has brought you. Remember that. Today's discouragement, maybe this year's discouragement, maybe the last 10 years. For me, it was 15 years of discouragement and depression and anger and sorrow. All that in the context of your entire life and the lives that have come before you. Other people who have struggled and succeeded, struggled and failed. We learn from both. Right? God has put greatness in. A lot of this is directed for the Christians or to the followers of Jesus Christ. Shout out to y'all, to us. um, and that inheritance that I'm speaking of is accessible to everyone except Jesus. So don't think that this is exclusive completely. Qualify for it, but you qualify as simple as confessing Jesus Christ as Lord and asking Him to forgive you of your sins and believing that He died for your wrongdoing, so that you have a renewed relationship with Him. And yeah, follow His ways, follow Him. Boom, boom. It applies to you. Cool. So welcome, gang, gang. I probably shouldn't say gang, gang, but whatever. Welcome. If you ever have questions, need anything, reach out to me. Put that somewhere. But this is part of the turning point out of resignation. Finding your will to live, finding that you can indeed live. If you still are telling yourself you can't, simple exercise. Move your eyes up, down, all around. I used to say this to my baby sister. Up, down. And that was a century grounding thing. It was silly for her, but yeah, you were doing something. You were choosing to do something. You tapped it. Look up, look down, all around. You have made a difference. And it's a difference in your perception. That's one of the most important things. You can do one thing, you can do anything. It just may take a while for you to learn how to. Now, I know people are wild today, so I have to define anything within human capabilities and reasoning because we are still human beings. Oh, but yes, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. Let me go back to my notes because tangents. Agency, right? That's the next part. Discover the texture of reality, the texture of knowledge, the texture of experience, of creativity, of expression. I say texture because in a world where most of our living is done in our minds, through the interfaces of screens and screens, like I was looking at my dog, tangent. I was looking at my dog and I realized, you don't have a funny little box to look at all day. You physically have to sit there and let the time pass. I sit here and I live in my mind, spoon-fed through screens. But my body is physically here. It's physically here and it's just questioning why it hasn't moved in the last 8 hours. While all my living is done in my mind. Discover the texture of life again. That means you have to physically go into something, to do something, to engage with something. If you need to start small, squeeze some Play-Doh. You know what I'm saying? Draw stick figures. Learn to write with your left hand. Do something hard. But feel the texture, feel the frustration, feel the roughness, the smoothness, the happiness. Celebrate it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I put for myself, I want to write as much as I read. I want to put out as much as I bring in. I want to create as much as I consume. So that's another thing that can be done to help engage this agency. If you're a deep thinker like me, rediscovering your why is pretty important. But know that you exist beyond just a why. There's like 5 other questions, right? Who, what, where, when, why, how? Is that 6? 5 others? I don't know. But if you don't have a why, then enjoy your where. Enjoy where you are. If you don't know where you are, enjoy what you are. If you don't know what you are, enjoy who you are. If you don't know who you are, enjoy how you are existing in this moment. If you're not existing in this moment, then none of these things apply to you. No, I'm joking. Because we're all existing, all the time. So it still applies. You can't escape that. Don't get lost in finding why. Be loved in the existence that you have. Even if it's just God's equals. That confirms that you are loved. Validate that. And that's the next thing. Validate things. Your desire to be an artist is not dumb. Your desire to be a scientist is not dumb. Just because it doesn't make money doesn't mean it has no value. Money has no value without substance behind it, but we're tricked into believing that these paper bills are the thing, are the value. But no, they're representatives. They're representatives of what we can make. They're representatives of substance. We've been fooled into thinking substance without representation has no value, and that is not true. That is why we live in the social media culture that we do today. We have substance, but that doesn't give it value. It gives it attention, sure, but it doesn't give it value. Allow your substance to be unrepresented. And in due time, someone may say, hey, what you doing there? I see substance. Oh, and I share my substance with you. I sidestep the performative. I sidestep the posture. And I just give you directly substance. And I think that is what stirs and deepens the heart. You know? When I give bread to somebody that I freshly baked, there's a feeling with that. When I cook for somebody, there's a feeling with that. If I give you money, thank you. Hey. But it sidesteps something. So same thing for y'all. Same thing for me. Enjoy the substance. Yeah. That's a part of the agency. Tap into that. Live into that. Go back to these notes because we in the deep one, but that was good. I like that. Thank you. Like God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, the whole Trinity. Like, thank y'all. Thank you. I love a good word. Anyway, I don't know where this fits in, but I'm going to just read this. I look at the spending of my time and I wonder, is this what I'm designed to do? The world is so very vast. The expression of existence diverse. I wonder when I will allow myself to attempt another way. I wrote that? Yo, attempt another way. Yeah, that's big. That's actually something I'm wrestling with right now. I guess this is why journaling is important. Allow yourself to attempt another way. Do the career shift. Change. Oh, this is so good. I'm sorry. But allow yourself, give yourself permission to attempt another way. Man. Okay, I'm gonna read this next part. The doubt is fueled by shrinking back from design to fit into the status quo gives birth to resignation. To be as the world demands instead of as God intended. How many of us have dreams that we stow away hidden at the bottom of these vessels that we borrow for a time? I desire different for myself and those around me. Cue agency. If resignation is the fading way into dissolution, agency is the soul raising its saturation in little intentional ways each day. It is the act of choosing and doing. As my old therapist said, it is good to observe, but remember to act. So what tint do you bring to the world when you shine? I think I'm going to end on that. What tint do you bring to the world when you shine? Like stained glass, light shines, and Christ is that light. But he makes us light. He's the light that makes light. And we add something to it. That human part. The Jaden personality that I have, your person, the insert name personality that you have. We need that. As much as we need the different colors of grasses, okay? The art of paying attention really helped. Noticing, as I call it, I think, really helped with some of this. The grasses have different colors. God did that on purpose. That rain droplets have different impact patterns based on how much water there is in the droplet. That snow has different textures based on however snow is made. Little things like that are so needed to the detail of our lives. And God didn't spare the details. And we choose. And we need you. We need you now. We need you. And we need you as you are. And I don't mean that as a stagnant existence, because we think as we are is one type of way always. No, we can change and grow, because if you stayed as you were in that sense, you'd be a baby still. Some of us, okay? But as God intended you to be that. That's in the Bible. What do you say? By the grace of God I am who I am. Be as God designed to be, you will find joy and fullness. And you're not going to find it in the system of the world. I have to say it. Bob Marley can say it, I can say it. You know, those systems are not here to really make a difference for you. They're not here for your good. So don't put your trust in that. I'm not saying be a skeptic. Tweak out. I gotta watch out for y'all. You know, I don't know who's going to hear this, but this has been agency presentation. AKA Thanks for spending time in the space. Sure enough, there's the space for it. Definitely tune in next time and have a great day. Oh, right. Lord, thank you for this time in this space. Thank you for the people who are here. I pray that you bless them, that you bring them into fullness of life, as you're still bringing me, and continue to guide them. I hope they come back to hear me and to hear you and to hear us. Yeah. Hope that their lives are changed for the better. And mine too, because some cooking in there. Anyway, love you, appreciate you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. And I love and appreciate you too. I will catch you all later. Bye. Alright. I want to come up with something witty. That was nice. I enjoyed that. I didn't think it would be that good, but it was good. Oh, half an hour recording this. I'm cold. Alright. Let's save that before my laptop dies, please. Oh my gosh, you're on 1%. Stop playing with me. I'm 2%. If I close you, will you betray me? Nah, I don't trust you. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Did the mic die? What is going on? Did you die, brother? Brother, mic died. That's crazy. I hope y'all heard some of this. If not, whatever. What type of violence was that? Whatever. I don't care.